Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Yisro, the parsha of Aseres Hadibros, for many here in the northeastern United States, well, other places in the United States as well, a holiday weekend, a secular holiday weekend, so hopefully everybody has time to enjoy that, maybe go buy a mattress or something. That's a whole other topic for another time. But we continue to daven for Chayalei Tzvagan Yisrael, for Shlem L'chol Petzuei Yisrael, and a safe return of our hostages. And we learn Leila Nishmat, Sarah, and Daniel Shimon, Ben Harav, Daron V'Sheli Shemikum Damo. So the next chapter that we have is Mahi Tefillah B'Minyan. What is considered davening with a minyan? Ikar HaTefillah B'Minyan, Sheyispalo Adam Im Asar Yehudim Tefillah Shmon Esrei. The main principle of davening with a minyan is that you daven with 10 Jews, Shmon Esrei, the Amida. And when I say 10 Jews, of course, I'm talking about 10 male Jews over the age of bar mitzvah. And if you don't get to daven the silent Shemona Esrei with the minyan, let's say you're lagging behind, you're late, what it may be, then you should say your silent Shemona Esrei while they're saying the repetition. And according to most poskim, this will also be considered that you fulfilled your obligation of davening with a minyan. So as I mentioned a couple of days ago, that if you're late and you're trying to figure out how to catch up, you should time your catching up so that you'll be able to daven the silent Shemona Esrei together with the minyan. That is the optimal performance. It's not getting there for Bercho, it's not Kaddish, it's not laning. It is davening the silent Shemona Esrei together with the minyan. Of course, the best answer to all of that is to come on time, or as my father, Zichron al-Recha, always used to say, he would get to shul much earlier. I would say, Dad, why are you coming to shul so early? He said, I have to catch up. So that's also a commentary about how fast we daven. Gamishi icher. So here let's go into it. Someone who's late. Im yispalel amida ba'od shatzibur osik ba'miras pirkei hatefila kedugmas alinu l'shabeach. So let's say you're late and you're saying Shemona Esrei and the minyan is up to Aleinu. Af she'enu nechshav k'mispal b'minyan. So this is not considered davening with a minyan. Tilo b'zem ma'ala mesyamis. There still is an elevated benefit to this, because at least you're davening in a place where there is a minyan, a place where the community is saying praises, shiras v'tishbachos, etc. Let's say you're saying shachris on Shabbos, and they're up to Musaf already. Wow, that means you're really late. This is also considered davening with a minyan. But again, don't try this at home, or don't try this in shul. The best idea always is to come on time. I could tell you that as a synagogue rabbi, we always want to encourage people to come on time, and when people come late, it just kind of messes up their whole day, and maybe even those around them. But you also run into these tefillah b'tzibur questions. So let's say someone can't go to shul. A person is ill, a person is just unable to make it, you have to be at work early, something like that. So here's an interesting halacha. You should at least try and daven the same time that your minyan is davening. At least you're having some sort of partnership with their minyan. And through this, your tefillah will be received. Because when your minyan is davening, it's considered a time that God wants to answer the prayers. So if at least you're davening at the same time as them, you could sort of latch on in that sense. It's also a sense of belonging, even though I'm not there, trying to daven at the same time. So ideally, one should try and daven with the same minyan, or one where you know exactly when they daven, and you know exactly what the procedures are. But if you don't know, let's say, what time the minyan, let's say you're davening alone, you don't know what time the minyan is davening, you could say, well, there must be a minyan at this time, or have one in mind. Because it should be that when you're davening at home, or in your office, or wherever you may be, or you're traveling, there's surely in the world some place in a minyan that's davening at that same time. Again, within reason. So it's importance of davening with the minyan, but there's also davening with the minyan, meaning that even if you're not at the minyan, davening with or at the same time that the minyan is davening, give us almost this, again, it's not the same thing, but it's somewhat of an effect of being included in this. But even if you would imagine that you're trying to daven at the same time as your minyan and you can't be there, you'll feel some sort of connection, albeit a loose connection, but some sort of connection nonetheless. So thank you so much for joining us this week as we study Hilchos Tefillah. Wishing everybody a peaceful and restful Shabbos. Please continue davening for Chali Tzog and Yisrael, for Shalom L'chol Pitzvei Yisrael, and the safe return of our hostages. Nishmat and Daniel Shimon, Rav Drum Shem from Damo. Again, wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom Mevorach. We'll see you next week.